This video is brought to you by StoneAgeGamer.com, a fantastic site for retro games, systems, accessories, and more. Be sure to check out StoneAgeGamer.com. Skip it up and that up! So a lot of people, understandably, are annoyed that Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, which is the prelude to Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, the main mission is only going to be about 2 hours, okay? And Hideo Kojima went on Twitter to basically defend the game, and this is what he had to say. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes includes the main mission alongside 5 side ops. All missions include elements such as trial records, where players can compete against each other online. This is not a linear game like the past. Ground Zeroes offers freedom of approach and play style, which we hope players will enjoy over and over without becoming bored. I believe people will be satisfied with the playtime of Ground Zeroes and will not stress the clear time, which is a standard for linear games. So it was funny. I'm not a big Metal Gear Solid fan, but, you know, I was pretty annoyed too. They're making you pay $30 for the 7th gen version of Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes and $40 for the 8th generation PS4 and Xbox One version. And I was playing, as you're looking on the screen right now, I was playing Golden Axe. And I remember being a kid, and for my birthday I got $50 from my grandmother and going to, God, what was it back then? Walden Software, I believe, and picking this game up and it taking up my whole $50 I got from my grandma. And I'm like, damn. Because what was funny is that I beat this entire game, Golden Axe, which I believe I spent around $50 on back then, in 32 minutes, according to the video that I captured. That's also including, like, you know, the intro. I didn't start playing the game right away. So it was about 30 minutes it took me to beat all of Golden Axe. So I'm like, you know what? I want to go and find the actual prices of these games back in the day, and I want to adjust them for inflation. And this is what I found out, and you're going to probably shit yourself. So it took me friggin' forever, for some reason, to find the original prices of these games from like 1990, 1991. And finally, on Flickr, I believe, I found a Sears wishlist catalog from 1991. I'll show a picture of it now. And it took forever to thumb through it because for some reason Flickr was really slow. And finally, I found the Sega Genesis page. And I saw the prices of the games, and I adjusted them for inflation. Are you ready? Back in the day in 1991, in this wishlist book, Golden Axe was $46.99 US. If you adjust that for inflation, so if Golden Axe came out today, it would be $81.85 US, $81.85. That's pretty goddamn expensive. Now, make sure you're sitting for this one. There was a game for the Sega Genesis called Sword of Vermilion, which back then, brand new, and there was no collector's editions back then. It was $74.99. So imagine going to God, I can't even think of the store right now, GameStop, and getting the plain Jane vanilla version of a game that just comes out for $75. You would flip, right? $75 US. So now adjust that for inflation. Guess how much it cost in 2014. So say Sword of Vermilion came out in 2014 and it was that price. Guess how much it would cost today adjusted for inflation? $130.62. Damn. Now, an awesome YouTuber and a friend of mine, I talk to him all the time on Facebook, SilverMongooseVideos, I'll have a link to his channel below in the description, brought up a pretty valiant argument defending Golden Axe. And he said that, you know, yeah, Rich, okay, game prices have come down, but the replay value of Golden Axe is sky high. You know, you play the game with your friends a billion times, and that is true. I remember the whole summer of 1990 with my buddies from school. They would come over. We would play the shit out of Golden Axe. And the two-player experience, even though it's the same game, you would play it over and over again, and it would be a blast because you're playing with a friend, and every time you played it, it would be a little different. One of your friends may be better at the game. One of your friends may be worse. You know, just things change, and it makes it fun, even though you played the same game and probably beat it 20 times over. But some could also argue, too, that Metal Gear Solid games, some people say they have a lot of replay value, too. I'm not a huge fan of them. I can't vouch for that myself. But, you know, there's something to be said in both directions. But my point of this video is, you know, and I've become spoiled too, but if you look back, gaming is more affordable than it's ever been. Think about that. Could you imagine? And these games were short. You know, like I just said. So, I played, what other game was I playing? Altered Beast, which that game, to me, no offense, doesn't have that much replay value. It's not a horrible game. It's just not a great one. You could beat that game in like 20 minutes. Another game, I mean, it was packed in with the Sega Genesis, but another game that was a pretty penny back then. Gaming, you know, I complained too about the length of Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes when I first heard about it, but I just want to put things in perspective for you guys and how much, in some ways, there's some ways gaming has gotten a lot worse too, I agree, but in some ways, gaming has gotten a lot better and a lot more affordable. Alright folks, this is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for supporting my channel. Have a good one.